Welcome, everybody, to It Tastes Different Gaming News. What's on the news today? Square-Enix has finally done it again. All right, before we jump in, make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit those notifications, and don't forget a little bit of feedback at the end here. Let us know what you think. So let's jump into it. Parasite Eve remakes destroyed. Square-Enix announced a symbiogenesis. I know I probably butchered that pronunciation, but I can't do anything about it. Which everybody was like, ooh, we're finally getting it. We're finally getting some more Parasite Eve. Square-Enix is like, yeah, you're going to get it all right. In the form of an NFT. Symbiogenesis, NFT collectible arts project is what it is. Basically, it's a bunch of digital garbage that everybody was saying, no, we don't want. They insisted we do. In a tweet, just has a little bit of a video with some Parasite Eve stuff scrolling across the screen, and it says symbiogenesis and NFT. It's another heartbreak by a company that just doesn't love you. They just want to hurt you. They want to watch you cry. It's not the, I know I'm supposed to pass this on, but this pisses me off so bad. I was so excited because the very first thing that came out was the hopes and dreams of Square-Enix launching or relaunching a sequel, a remaster, a remake, a something in the world of Parasite Eve. Pat made a joke, oh my God, Shane is probably losing it right now. And I replied back in our little message groups, losing it, done lost it, and I'm going to do it again. And next thing I know, the next day, I believe it was, Nick had to follow up with the first article with the second article pointing out NFTs because he likes to crush my heart. He's a terrible person. So NFTs, Parasite Eves, screws me. Pat, what do you think? Since I know you're the biggest collector of collectible art projects from NFT worlds.
Yep, I could hear Shane crying from work when I saw that article. I was like, oh, Shane just died at work is what happened with that one.
I was so freaking angry.
I think I read a comment on Twitter that summed it up best. Square-Enix is now the Shinra of society. They have basically... I can't help it. That was a great one. Somebody on Twitter beat me to that. But yeah, Square-Enix basically said, hold my beer, I can make it worse. When we were talking about the last NFT faux pas and them selling off IPs and everything else. They are Mark Zuckerberging this thing. They're going down with the ship. They're like, no, we see the light at the end of the tunnel. And that light at the end of the tunnel is a train. It ain't the way out. I don't know. I don't get it. We love Square-Enix for games. The majority of gamers don't give a shit about NFTs. Sorry, they just don't. They have spoken. People just don't want to listen. These people that have basically built their development strategy around NFTs don't want to give up the idea that gamers hate it. They don't want it. Take that, peddle that crap somewhere else because we don't want it. Whatever few people are still around buying NFTs, they're just holding on to, hoping that the market corrects and, all this good stuff. But gamers don't want it. We definitely don't want it in our gaming franchises. Move on. There's probably a market out there for this stuff, but it's not in the gaming industry. The gamers have already spoken. We don't want it. Get away from us with it. Do something else with it. But they won't. They keep saying, Square-Enix has basically said, we don't make games anymore, guys. We make mistakes. So that's all they're doing anymore. They don't make games anymore. Square-Enix is out of the video game business. It's taken umpteen years to make the next Final Fantasy game, make the next remake of Final Fantasy VII Part 2, whatever, These guys just, I don't know what they're doing anymore. I am completely flabbergasted and completely confused and lost with their strategy. Um, I wish I could be a fly on the wall in those executive committee meetings where they're like, hey, let's screw with the gaming world. Let's re-register this trademark for Parasite Eve symbiosis or whatever the heck it is called, a symbiogenesis. And then let's get their hopes up. And then we're just going to be like, and here's our NFT project. They're basically the guy running around the park going, hey, I got some vintage video games. And he opens up his trench coat and he's naked. You know, that's basically what they are doing, everybody. You know, now they're getting the cops called on them for scaring all the ladies and the kids and stuff in the park. They've gone senile, everybody. Nick, what do you think about Square Enix and their odd business strategy right now with NFTs and taking the ship down with them?
Yeah, I mean, Square Enix is pissing in the pool and then putting their foot in and going, see, it's still warm. I don't know what the hell they're doing. I love Parasite Eve, and you know, they first trademarked symbiogenesis, which, you know, according to the article, means like taking basically two halves and putting them together in a sense, or two organisms and interjecting them together, right? And that was kind of what Parasite Eve was about. And so everyone got their hopes up, the remakes or remasters or something of Parasite Eve, and then Square Enix, yeah, like you guys said, just comes out and says, hey, look, NFTs, you still like those, right? No, I mean, I think the community has pretty much spoken on NFTs. That's why you don't see other companies. Look at Ubisoft. Ubisoft tried, they got rid of their quartz thing, and they haven't talked anything about NFTs since. They haven't mentioned it. They haven't talked about it. They haven't started up a new project with it because they figured out, oh, no one cares, right? The Square Enix is late to the party. Get with the time, Square Enix. No one cares about your NFTs. No one's going to buy them. No one cares about them. All they do is they care about the games that you have, the games that you make, the properties that you have that you're just sitting on and doing nothing with. That's what the gamers care about. A lot of gamers for a long time have been waiting for Parasite Eve, you know, waiting for a lot of these older franchises that you've just been sitting around on coming back. And when you, I mean, yeah, it's a punch in the face to the fans out there who see this, and that spark of hope, you know, like, oh, something Parasite Eve is going to happen. And you say, here's an NFT. I mean, that's just like a slap across the face. Like, here, you want this? No, we don't want this. No one wants this. No one cares about this.
It's the Allstate commercial with the old guy with the fishing pole and the dollar. Oh, you almost got it. Oh, got to be quicker than that. That's what they're doing to their fans right now.
Yeah.
Here's what's funny is I love this little part of this article. It says it's rather ironic that Square Enix is trying to sell energy wasting NFTs by using figures of Cloud, Aerith, and Tifa, characters who are about saving the world against corporations who are ruining the environment.
Yeah, that's why Pat's you know, that person said they're the Shinra, because Shinra was the planet destroying energy company in Final Fantasy VII. So
they had become what we feared most. You know, but I can't grasp this. I did just a 30-second Google of places where NFTs are most popular. Japan is not one of them. America is not one of them. Argentina is popular. And some of these more, you know, I don't want to say it with, you know, any disdain or whatever, but more of a third world countries they're popular at, which makes no sense. How do they afford to buy these things? To buy air? I mean, they're buying air. It's Spaceballs. They're buying air. Why are they still pushing these things? I mean, I don't grasp and it may be because I'm just old as crap and I don't get the world anymore because everything is stupid. But why are these things still being pushed? NFTs, digital coins, and things like that. It's freaking Spaceballs. I mean, we're living in Spaceballs because you're buying air. You're buying nothingness. but you're proud of it. You can say, look at my air, look at my nothing. And these companies are trying to get in on this trend. And now that, this is the first NFT thing I've seen in a while, but they're still doubling down. It's nonsensical. Square Enix could make more money if they would make more games. If it's all about the money, make more games. I mean, they charge like $200 for their freaking cloud alarm clock that looks like a sword, yay freaking big. Eat an ass. That's not what your fan base wants. Now, if it was a giant sword for $200 with an alarm clock built on it, that's different. But it's this big. Square Enix wants to make money. They need to make games. Plain and simple. They have a great library. They're just not touching it. And they piss their money away for stupid. I can't remember what you gave this stuff a name before, Pat. I can't remember what it was, but it was dead on accurate about how just stupid it is. I mean, to be jumping into
the only people that are making money on NFTs are the people that are selling the originals, right? I mean, that's really what it's all about, because the NFTs technically don't resell for much more than what they've sold for. I mean, we've seen time and time again with the NFT turned in from the first tweet. Dang thing sold for millions, and then they couldn't resell it. And I mean, it's like you make this stuff. It's like, okay, cool. All these people are interested in it, but the only people that are making money are the artists, the people who are selling the original, the first run of the NFT. Now that the market's kind of, because it was a really hot market and people are trading and buying and doing all this stuff, but then there's the whole dismay of the people who don't care for NFTs driving the market back down, and the people that aren't participating in the market. You can't really compare NFTs to like cryptocurrency. That's a whole different schema thing there, Shane. You can't really compare
cryptocurrency. It's not scam.
I mean, cryptocurrency has been doing great for years and has made people multimillionaires.
Still don't get it.
I mean, but you can't even really compare the two, right? In my opinion, you can't. I mean, cryptocurrency is here to stay. Just look at Ethereum and Bitcoin and all them. Bitcoin lost a lot of money, but Bitcoin is still holding on at more money than I can afford for one coin. So,
Yeah, but still, I don't get it. I mean, you're buying nothing. There's no tangibility. So
Bitcoin, on some coins there is, and some coins there isn't.
Yeah.
Some coins are backed, like Bitcoins are backed by blockchain mining. They're backed by something, but like there's certain coins what's
blockchain money? Is that it's physical?
Digital mining type stuff.
Then
it's hashed bits. No, it's actually physical processing. Whereas you take something like Dogecoin, for example, is backed by nothing but the amount of people purchasing and the amount of quantity available. So there's different types of coins and things like that. But NFTs are just paying for a digital image that you hope will go up in value somehow because of someone's intrinsic idea that this is worth more than what it is, and here's the difference. I can buy something with a Bitcoin. I can take that Bitcoin and go to a place that will take Bitcoin for currency and buy something. I can't take that NFT to Sam's Club or Walmart or Best Buy and be like, I want to buy that. I don't know what the hell for one of these NFTs. I'll give you my Digimon. I don't know.
I really want to go to the store with you now. Once you try that,
it's almost like back in the day when we were kids and you had like your Pokemon collection and stuff, and you would trade like your Charizard for someone else's, your rare Pokemon card for someone else's rare Pokemon card because you wanted it, right? That's what it reminds me of NFTs nowadays. Except for the only difference is they're a lot more expensive for the first run, right? And like you said, those people that spend millions of dollars on that first edition of it, they turn around wanting to sell it for more and they don't find any buyers, right? And it's really because, is there a market for it? Sure. I'm sure there is. There's a market for everything. But the gaming community is not interested in that market. It's just not, right? Gamers are looking for something that makes their gaming life and maybe even collection, right? I believe that game collectors don't even look at it as part of a collection, right? The game collectors any collector really wants physical items that they can hold, right? That's the whole part of collecting, right? They don't want to collect digital stamps or digital artwork. They want to collect something physical, right? That's the whole point of being a collector. Whereas in the gaming market, yeah, I mean, you just have those people that are not interested in that, and the people that are outside of the gaming market. The gaming market is looking at for something to collect game wise that they can actually physically have, or something that's going to improve their gaming life. And NFTs, blockchains, these things that the gaming companies have said is going to improve it, they haven't proved to the gaming community any way that it improves anything, right? And we had that whole stint of blockchains going to improve blockchain games and NFTs and all these companies tried to push it so hard. But yet when asked the simple question is, how is this going to make my gaming life better? They couldn't answer that question. It's because there was no answer. They had no clue, right? And they still don't have a clue. They could say, Square-Enix could say, we're going to do NFTs, we're going to do blockchains, because they sold off, those companies to Embracer, and to make way for their NFT and blockchain. And it's like, for what purpose, right? That you're not going to make any money out of this. The gaming community has already said several times that no, we don't want this. And, take your blockchain, your NFT and shove it somewhere else because we don't want it. And yet most companies have gotten the message now, right? Like I said, Ubisoft, you heard a bunch of Ubisoft talk about NFTs and blockchains. And ever since their last one they did with Ghost Recon Breakpoint, once they ended that, have you heard one single thing about blockchains or NFTs from Ubisoft? I haven't heard a thing. That Quartz thing, once it was gone, they haven't talked about Quartz coming back. They haven't even mentioned the word NFT or blockchain since then. I haven't seen one article or anything about it, and neither from any other big companies that were talking about it, right? Talking about possibly implementing this or doing this. They've pretty much just dropped it. And Square-Enix, for some reason, I guess they didn't get the memo. Maybe they weren't at the meeting, or whatever, they slept in late, or they just didn't show up for the meeting, or whatever the case may be, but they still think it's a hot item for some reason. Get with the time, Square-Enix. I mean, if you're looking for a way to drive your company in the ground, you're doing a great job of it. Let's try not to do that, because I like your games.
Yeah, you might as well just kiss Parasite Eve goodbye. They're not going to do anything with it. And that drives me nuts. All these game developers have these amazing games that they just sit on for a decade, and don't get me wrong, I am all for stopping sequels for a long time and then bringing them back later. But they're not bringing them back. They're, Square Enix is making it perfectly clear that they don't care about, the games that they have, the history that they've created for themselves, of what's got them where they're at. It's all about what they think is going to be the next thing, which, for the love of God, why NFTs? I have no idea. But that's where they're at. So are we ever going to get another Parasite Eve? Hopefully. And this is one way to try to throw a positive spin on this. They received a lot of backlash on that tweet, whatever you want to call it, that they put out with the symbiogenesis stuff on it and the NFTs. They received a lot of backlash, and people, just give us the freaking game. Just give us the freaking game. Maybe they will say, you know what, let's try making the freaking game, or pay somebody to go freaking make it for us that, hopefully can do a good job. Just make the freaking game. That's all we want. We don't want NFTs. We don't want digital artwork. We don't want figurines. I don't want an alarm clock. I want a freaking game. That's all I freaking want. Just give me the freaking game. Plain and simple. So hopefully the backlash will come back for that.
The only time you're going to get to play it is when Square Enix has to sell off the IP for their next NFT project. But that's the whole reason they sold off those IPs. We want to cash infuse our NFT projects. And when I heard that, I'm like, wow, somebody is behind the times and not paying attention to the NFT market. These guys are not smart. It's like you just sold off popular IPs to fund something that is leveling off, you know. I don't
it's
see
not
how you
level,
think
it's
you're going to make your
crashed.
money back. Well, it's leveled off. The NFT market is not dead. As much as I wish
Should
it would
be.
just die, it's not dead. It's leveled off. I mean, it was massive a couple of years ago. There was lots of trading going on, lots of daily activity. That stuff's all kind of leveled off to what I consider it's now at its operating level, which I think honestly, here's what I can see happening. The economies of the world are in trouble right now. We're looking at possible, we're looking at massive inflation in the US. We're looking at possible crashes of the economy coming along, or, other stuff happening. The economy is not in a good place right now to be trying to run an NFT market. Even if it was even if inflation was all you had to worry about, that's probably still not the best time to throw in a luxury item, because by no means this is a luxury item. This is not an item you need to live or to survive. Economies are not doing great. You're not going to make your sales. And so I can see this is going to be a problem for them when nobody's buying these, or they're not making the amount of money that they anticipated making off of these. I don't know what their initial sales are going to be or what they're going to try to do. They're going to be trying to push $1,000 NFTs, or we're going to do 500 limited run at $50 a pop or $100 a pop or whatever they're going to try to do. It's going to be just like everything else. It's going to be like not sell as much as they were expecting. I guarantee they're probably not even going to sell 25% as much as they're hoping for the cost they're hoping. They're going to end up saying, we're going to start selling these things for $500 a pop, and they're going to have to go down to, we'll sell them for $25 instead of, $2,500 or something, whatever. It's going to drop, and it's not going to do what they're expecting it to. And then Square Enix is going to have layoffs and sell off more IPs just to stay afloat, or go into bankruptcy protection, which I hope not. They have a lot of great IPs. I love the games they put out. I love the statues and figurines they put out, but I can't afford them. I love the way they look. People buy them. People buy that stuff from them, which is cool. If that's what you're into, by all means, spend your money. If you're into NFTs, spend your money in NFTs. I don't care. If that's your thing, that's your thing. But stop taking things that gamers want. And they know gamers want a Parasite Eve game. And I'm going to throw out some shock and awe. I've never played a Parasite game. I've never had they want to play those games, never watched the movie, never read the books. But even me, as a person who doesn't play, who's not invested in the franchise, I'm like, wow, that's a dirty move, Square Enix. Register this symbiogenesis trademark, and then a week later say, guys, we got something great for you. And everybody's like, yeah, come on, Parasite Eve game, and NFT, and you guys can shove it. I mean, Square Enix's tweet only had like 1,000 likes. So that's pretty low for a Square Enix tweet. Only got like 1,000 and some likes. Yeah. I think they had a bunch of retweets, but I guarantee if I go back and look at all the retweets, it's probably like how to shoot yourself in the face despite your nose, or how to kill a studio off in one move, So
yeah, it's damn ridiculous. It really is. It's been a roller coaster of emotions this week, and I don't know how to feel. But all I know is President Rufus of Square Enix, you bastard. You got to stop this stuff. Make it right. Make it right. All right. Speaking of making it right, you guys got anything else? Well, all right.
How do you make two wrongs don't make a right, Square Enix?
Do better, Square Enix. Do better. You have a lot of great franchises. And if you're not going to do anything with them, then sell them to somebody who will.
Give them to me.
I mean, I'd rather have Square Enix do something with them, but if they're just going to sit there and sit on them forever, then give them to somebody who's going to make something awesome with them.
I was excited for the rumors that, they were looking to sell. Microsoft was one of them. Sony was, talking about it, but, it never came to fruition. It turned out it was Embracer Group bought a bunch of it. But, it is sad. So just give me the games that you don't want to make. I'll get them made. I know a guy. But anything else, guys? All right. Well, thanks for listening all the way to the end. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe. Hit those notifications. If you don't do it, I have to go back to OnlyFans, and that ain't good. That ain't good at all. But make sure you give us your feedback too. Tell us what you think about this BS, this heartbreak that Square Enix keeps pulling on us. You know, these dirty tricks. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you think about Parasite Eve, and tell me what you think about Pat never playing a Parasite Eve game. I'm pretty hurt by that. Thought I knew you. But until next time, we will see you later. See ya.